At the moment, the priority needs are food, potable water, shelter, temporary shelter, fuel, hygiene kits, and medical supplies for the most vulnerable communities who suffered from the brunt of Typhoon Rai.
Which areas have been most affected?
Yeah, based on official records from government, the hardest hit communities come from coastal and farming areas in the Visayas and Mindanao, particularly Surigao del Norte, including the surfing capital of the Philippines, Surigao Island, also Bohol, and the southern Leyte provinces in Visayas.
And does the search continue for those who are still missing? What are the numbers like right now?
Actually, the search and rescue operation already completed, and most of the survivors are already staying in their evacuation areas. Those families who have completely destroyed houses opt to go back to their homes, destroyed homes, and secure their houses and build makeshift, made of rubbles, so that they can completely recover some of the belongings from after the typhoon.
Nearly 500,000 people have been displaced. How are their needs being met?
Yeah, it's actually a combination of different efforts through the leadership of government and NGOs like Oxfam and different humanitarian organizations, including the private sector, to provide life-saving aid, specifically food and potable water at the moment. Those are the priority needs, including temporary shelter, because as you may heard, a lot of the communities were left homeless after the typhoon. So, and we have an incoming typhoon again. We are still in the typhoon season. So temporary shelter are badly needed because even some of the evacuation centers were destroyed by typhoon. So at the moment, the people are really vulnerable at this time.
The President has promised funds of about $40 million. How long, though, before this can be converted to aid and resources to help those affected?
Actually, the government have started relief distribution. The first thing was really to clear the roads so that relief services can be made available to the people, and also the airport, so that relief supplies, including satellite phones, can be made available to local governments. A lot of people are without electricity at the moment. 63 cities and municipalities are without electricity, and only 9% of which has been restored at the moment.
How is Oxfam organising itself to reach those in particular who live in remote areas?
Yeah, actually, even before the typhoon hits last December 16, 3 days before the landfall, we provided preemptive cash assistance to more than 3,000 people in Eastern Samar for them to be able to purchase their priority needs before the typhoon hits the ground. At the moment, we are supporting government, complementing efforts to ensure that relief goods, especially clean water, shelter, and food, reach the most vulnerable who are left homeless by the super typhoon.
How does the devastation compare to previous deadly storms in the past?
Yeah, this one is comparable to Typhoon Washi in 2010. Responders were saying that this was one of the strongest thus far after 10 years in Mindanao. But the bright side of it is that we learned a lot from Typhoon Haiyan, and early preparations by government, preemptive evacuation 2 days before the landfall actually saved a lot of lives.
And what help can the international community provide?
Actually, now we are complementing government. So in terms of uh, swift provision of relief operations, no? Because we know that by government you have processes, you have procedures. Humanitarian aid organizations like the Philippines can act swiftly alongside government and local governments to provide that life-saving support to communities now.
And just finally, how long before some of these families can start to return home, do you think?
Oh, it will take some time. A lot of them lost their homes. I think the immediate support needed from the international communities, supporting government to restore their homes so that livelihoods, that they can go back to normal and they can restore their lost houses and income.
Rhoda Avila, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.